Jake, how's the cut going? I thought you were cutting. Why aren't you getting leaner? Why do you kind of look fat? Why do you have 4 chins? Well, guess what? This is road to 190 pounds. We back on the bulk, bro. I'm trying to get bigger because I was cutting and then I got like a little bit lean. I still had more way to go. And then I realized, bro, I get to where I want to be. I'm going to be a 155 pound man. Then I took a step back and realized in my life, that's not the type of person I'm trying to be. As a 155 pound man, someone could literally pick me up and throw me. And there's nothing I could do about it. That's literally like peak victim weight right there. I'm not going to be that guy. So if I got to get a little fat, I'm going to do it. Am I just using this as an excuse to eat way more food? Maybe, but that's neither here nor there. Jake, why are you outside right now? Well, let me ask you this. Why aren't you outside? It's freaking beautiful out. I'm freaking soaking up this vitamin D. Now we're gonna go cook up a big fat breakfast, slam a bunch of caffeine, and then we're gonna hit back. We're gonna try to, basically, to bulk up and to build muscle, you need to be in a calorie surplus, to be in an anabolic state, which is basically a building state. If all I need is 200 calories in surplus, that's all I want. I don't want to be in like a 400 calorie surplus because the only calories that are going towards anabolic muscle building is the 200 calories. And then the 200 on top of that is just going to go into gaining fat. Basically, bro, I'm already as fat as I want to be. The most important food on this entire bulk is going to be egg. Why? Because they have decent macros, but they're also super nutritious. And you can eat them in so many different ways. I promise you in my entire life, I'm never gonna get sick of eggs. You can cook them in about 20 different ways. You can eat them in the morning, at noon, or for supper. They taste amazing. And they got decent macros and the micronutrients are freaking crazy. I'm gonna shoot for around 25 to 3,000 calories per day on the bulk. My goal for every day is gonna be 2,800 calories. That's a goal that I'm trying not to go over because like for me, bulking is super easy. I'm a fatty at heart. I could easily eat 3,500 calories a day, no problem. So for me, I gotta restrict myself on the bulk. Throwing a lid on the egg, and you don't even have to flip them. Keeps the heat in there so it cooks the top. Slide that ham into low-calorie peanut butter jelly sandwich, bro. Watch this. Get your peanut butter powder in the bowl. Get your low-calorie jelly, serving of that. Then get you some sugar-free syrup. This is the secret ingredient. This is what you're gonna mix in with the peanut butter powder to give it that peanut buttery texture. We mix in everything together. Peanut butter and jelly is only 175 calories and 11 grams of protein. So this entire meal is 650 calories and 58 grams of protein. I'm absolutely about to devour this. PBJ. Get some of that broccoli in the mix. Meal 1 down. It's been a little while, so I'm gonna have this protein Rice Krispie bar. Good little snack. I'm about to go to the gym in like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, so I'm gonna have this freaking protein cookie and a bag of popcorn. 220 calories, a whole bunch of carbs. And this got 15 grams of protein, 30 carbs. So we have a whole bunch of carbs before we lift, but I really like to let it digest so I don't have a full stomach when I'm lifting. So I'm eating all this about 2 hours out. When I'm bulking, I like to eat at least like 60, maybe 75% of my calories before I lift because I want those calories to go into the lift. Because the whole point of bulking is trying to build muscle, so I want to have the best lifts possible. I want to bring the intensity. So I like to lift a little bit later in the day. That way I can use the food to my advantage. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably gonna gain a whole bunch of fat, and then it's gonna be super hard to get it off because cutting, in my opinion, is way harder than bulking. Who am I to give up and make assumptions that the bulk isn't gonna be worth it and that the bulk isn't gonna work? Who am I to help people lose weight and or gain weight if I myself have not even done it? And this bulk could work. Maybe I put on a bunch of more muscle. Maybe I break through this like muscle plateau that I have because I feel like in the last 30 years, I've barely gained any muscle. And I know one thing that could definitely solve all my problems and help me get leaner and gain muscle at the same time, but we're not doing that because that'll solve one problem, but then that is gonna create 50 more problems that are way bigger in the whole grand scheme of life. You know what I'm saying? I gotta try this bulk for me to see if it works. You know, this is basically like personalized scientific study on myself. Okay? So we bulk into 190. And then after that, if we're still feeling kind of lean and if the bulk is still going good, maybe we'll go to 200. But I am only 5'9" and my genetics are not that crazy. So if I bulked to 200, I would probably mostly only be fat. Now I gotta go chug a bunch of coffee to get some caffeine in my system so we can have an efficient freaking awesome back day in the basement. So let's get to it. I'm sitting here pondering before my lift. All the gym influencer videos, YouTube, TikTok, whatever it may be, they're super boring. I'm gonna be honest. The Trend Twins, their videos are entertaining. They're not boring. Lex's videos, they're not boring. Like Lex is like cool, but like everyone else, you're boring. For one of flat freaking pull downs,
Hoop!
Lifting halftime break. Well, basically, every time I do back, I focus on hitting a pull down movement and a pullover movement, and I rotate which one I focus on so I can emphasize that one every other time. So this time I'm emphasizing pull down movement. And now we're finished the pull down movement, so we're moving on to the pullover movement. Okay, we just got back from the bro, freaking spoon fell in the oatmeal. We got a big old bowl of oatmeal mixed with a bunch of Greek yogurt. We got a sexy looking plate of vegetables right here. And then we got 3 eggs, 3 pieces of ham, and 2 pieces of toast. This type of food is healthy, it's super cheap, and it tastes amazing in my opinion. I could literally eat eggs every single day for the rest of my life. Okay, it has almost been a year since I filmed that video, and it is crazy how much of a different perspective I have about bulking and lifting in general. I've definitely learned a lot, and I'm not fat anymore, and I did bulk up to 189 pounds is the most I ever weighed, so I didn't technically weigh 190, but basically I definitely got fat. When you're trying to debate between bulking or cutting, all you have to understand is that the realistic amount of new tissue that you can develop, like in a specific time frame, like let's just say a year for example, is probably very small if you're somebody who's a natural lifter. So the amount of calories that you should be consuming in surplus to support that amount of new tissue development should also be extremely small. And yes, being in a slight surplus might help you like perform better in the gym. You might feel a little bit better, but at the same time, you also have fat, internal energy stored on your body that you can use to support that amount of new tissue development. I would definitely err on the side of just trying to do body recomp rather than bulking, because more than likely, if you're bulking, you're gonna bulk up too much. You're gonna be eating too many calories in surplus, and those excess calories are just stored as fat. And it just seems like it's so much harder to lose fat than it is to gain it. Looking back at that video, like it's just like some of the things that I was thinking are very stupid. I did not need even anywhere close to 2,500 to 3,000 calories in surplus. That is insane. I maintain at like 2,100 calories. That's with lifting and doing cardio almost every single day and getting at least 10 to 15,000 steps in. Was the bulk successful? Absolutely not, but it was successful in the way that I learned firsthand and I got personal experience with gaining fat from the bulk and realizing that is absolutely not worth it. And if I was gonna do a bulk, I would be in like basically tracking at maintenance, but loosely tracking, because your range of error plus or minus probably like 200 calories, at least for me. So the surplus that you should be in is probably within that range of error when you're tracking, or at least when you're loosely tracking and you're not absolutely weighing everything out. So will I personally ever bulk again? Absolutely not. I'm only going to be trying to maintain and do slow body recomps, which would be like, I guess, what people mean when they say main gaining now. But now I'm going to make a video of how to cut, because I did cut and I definitely am a little bit leaner now, which has been much better, and my lifts have gone up because I have a much better understanding of bulking, cutting, how to use carbs to your advantage and everything like that. But yeah, I wouldn't bulk, bro.